Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm gonna be testing out some new makeup that I recently got, and while I'm doing that I'm also gonna chat with you about things I hope brands will come out with in 2022. So it's not really like my makeup predictions, it's just what I wish would come out. So let's get right into it. So I got some things here that I've kind of put off trying because it didn't feel right to try them off camera. I just thought I needed to do something with it. I hauled the Secret palette by Nabla and I told you that I hadn't used it then and I still haven't used it because I just feel like this is too special to not show on camera. So I thought let's do a get ready with me, just try some of these things. I also got this McGrath highlighter. I only swatched it, haven't applied it on my face, and I just want to try it with you and show it to you. I'm not gonna focus on this makeup too much. I'm not gonna do swatches, but then if you're interested you can see how it all works. I don't have a first impression new product for every category. Okay, so let's get you a little bit closer. I'm first gonna apply some concealer because I've been getting some blemishes that I find a bit too distracting. I don't really like applying foundation. I don't really do that, but if I have so many blemishes, I like to cover it up a little bit. So I think this is already looking a lot better. I just skipped through that because I don't think it's very interesting to see someone apply a concealer. I always use a Catrice Camouflage Cream if I want to cover up some blemishes. Now let's get to the list and to the Secret palette. So the first thing on my list is that I really want Spciy to come out with more cream lip stains. I really love their cream lip stain formula, but the shades, they don't have a lot of shades, and the shades that they have are pretty dark, and I quite like a little bit of a lighter nude shiny lip, so I think that formula would be perfect for that. Also because then when it goes outside your lip line a little bit, if it moves a little bit because it's such a shiny product, it will not start looking weird or anything because it's a nude shade. But if you have such a shiny dark shade, it can like travel around a little bit, go outside of your lip line, and I just really want more of the formula because I just love the formula so much. I have two of the shades, but I don't really want to get the dark purpley reddish ones. But the thing with indie brands is that sometimes they come out with a pretty small range of products and then they don't really add more shades. So I really hope that they will be doing that we will be seeing some more shades, something like that. This year they added their lipsticks, but I wasn't too interested in those because those weren't really my shades. So I'm kind of hoping for that. Now I'm gonna go into the Secret palette. I think I'm first gonna go into this shade called Ghibli. I don't know what that means. What is Ghibli? I haven't really filmed in a while, so I'm feeling a little bit rusty and I keep forgetting things that I need for my makeup. I always use a color switch like this. This one is from Catrice. And I find it pretty hard to do my makeup without this. Okay, I'm going into the shade Ghibli now with a crease brush. I have really high hopes for this palette because I have loved every big palette that I got from Nabla. I don't absolutely love all their smaller palettes, but the big palettes are really great quality always. So I thought it was time I tried this one. Okay, for the next thing I wrote down, I want an Spciy palette that is in the style of the Norns eyeshadow palette. You know, that really colorful one with the very pretty shimmers on the bottom. I want that kind of style with the round pants, not in a book format. And then I want those very textured, creamy, dimensional shades. That particular shimmer formula that is in there in kind of neutral shades. I want a little bit of a maybe half neutral, half colorful, or a neutral palette with a few pops of maybe purple or something like that. And then with that particular shimmer formula, I would love that because the Norns palette is such a great palette with great formulas, but it is pretty colorful and I do love to wear neutral shades. I also love color, but I also love neutrals, so I would love if they would do another palette like that. But I don't really think so, because they're really moving into the direction of those book style palettes. That's what they have been doing since the Saga of Freya collection. But I would really love that. Just something, just another collection with more neutral versions of those textured shades. I would already be very, very happy with. And then, okay, there's a lot of Onus Eye on this list, but I just love Onus Eye, and I hope that they are gonna come out with a lot of great products, and I know they will. I have faith in them. I'm gonna go into the shade called Mea Culpa. I don't know what that is. Should I know what that is? But I just really, really am excited to see more by Onus Eye, to see more by that brand. I really hope they're gonna expand their product range and their shade ranges. But what I would really love to see is a very shiny blush, because they have matte blushes and then they have shiny blushes, but actually they are more of a satin with some shimmer in there. And I kind of hope that they do something with that particular blush formula, because it's one of my favorite blush formulas, but then really glowy, like really, really glowy. Not glittery, but really a glow. I would love to see that. And then maybe some different shades as well. I feel like they're kind of sticking to the same shades, and I would love to see something else. Maybe something a little bit more light, a little bit more cool toned, maybe like a little bit more cool toned pinky, although I know a lot of brands already do that, so it's also fun if they do something else. I do get that, but I would love to see that. So far this palette is looking great, blending great. I'm not even being very, very precise with this application, but it's all looking good. Okay, let's move on to another brand. So another thing that I have on my list that I'm expecting to happen as well is that Nabla is gonna come out with another one of their bigger palettes, because this year in 2021 they've only come out with their smaller palettes. They've only released Cutie palettes and then a glitter quad. But I love their bigger palettes. I think they always do them so well, and usually they do like one a year, I believe, but they haven't released any bigger palette in 2021. So I'm thinking that that is probably gonna happen, and I'm gonna be very excited when that happens. And then, by the way, I'm gonna grab this shade called Romeo. It's a shimmer. I'm gonna use it with my finger in the outer corner. This is kind of satiny. It looks kind of satiny, but I'm hoping for another kind of half neutral, half colorful palette, because the last big palette that they did was very, very neutral, and it's one of my favorite neutral palettes. But I'm just hoping for a palette kind of like the Secret palette or like the Dreamy palettes, like Dreamy 1 and 2. I'm hoping that maybe they do something with purple, like real purples, but then mixed with neutrals. I think that would be really cool. This shimmer is pretty satiny. It's quite pigmented, it's quite pretty, but it is not very textured or dimensional or something like that. But Nabla always has different textures in their palettes. It's just something that they do. I see some shimmers here that do look a lot more shiny and a lot more reflective and textured. And I have to go and look for something to wipe my hands off. I forgot everything. Okay, I'm gonna apply the shade Hyper Sensual now. It looks like such a beautiful textured shade. It's kind of like goldy, peachy and pinky, almost like the skin glazing highlighter in Privilege, but then in eyeshadow form. So I think I'm gonna love this one. I'm gonna apply it with my finger as well. But now that we're talking about it, another thing that I would love to see by Nabla is more skin glazing highlighters in different shades, and also in shades that are more blushy. So they did 2 blush shades, but I would like to see more, because those shades weren't really completely up my alley. I'm just gonna apply the shade all over because I really love how that looks. This really adds some dimension and texture. But I would love to see more highlighters, but they've already done a lot, and I don't know if they are gonna expand the range. I don't really expect it, but I would love to see a more pinky highlighter. I would love to see a more pinky blush and a more berry, like more cool toned berry blush shade. I just really love the skin glazing formula and I just want to see more. I just want to see more different shades in that line. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't actually think so, but if it would, I would be so happy and I would buy it for sure. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Contigo over here. This is kind of like a mauve shade. It looks so pretty. I'm gonna take a flat brush and apply that under my eyes. You might know that the Skin Glazing highlighter by Nabla in Privilege is like my favorite highlighter ever, and it has been for quite a while. Ever since I got it, it's my favorite. So I would love to see more shades, but the shades that they have now aren't really doing it for me. I don't think that they're gonna come close to the Privilege one, and then I'm gonna choose Privilege over them. But if there would be a more cool tone pinky one, I would be all over that. And something that I know that is going to happen, but I'm just very, very excited for, and I just hope that it's gonna be up my alley, is that Glaminatrix is coming out with a neutral palette probably, and I believe they were also coming out with kind of like a grungy color story, which I'm also very excited about. By the way, I'm taking this shade again, smoking out the lower lash line with the same brush, but I'm just really excited to see that because I just really am into this brand. Although I haven't tried a lot from them. I have tried some singles, and the Silent Night palette is still on its way to me. I know. I am receiving a Christmas palette after Christmas, but when I ordered it, I was thinking, you know what? I can take those shades out. They are magnetic. I can take them out. So if I don't use it because it's too Christmassy, I can just put it in another palette. And the shades, by the way, are available individually now on their website. So I'm thinking of maybe still doing a little bit of a video with it, because you can buy the shades separately. So it's still gonna be relevant, even though the eyeshadow palette is gonna be sold out very soon. I think they just have a few left, but that's not relevant here. Okay. I just really want to see that neutral palette by Glaminatrix. Even though I haven't tried a lot from them, I just think they are such a cool brand, and the formulas always look so good, and I really love the singles that I have. So I'm just really excited about that. It's something that I would want, but I already know that it's coming, so I'm really happy about that. Okay, what do I want to use on the lower lash line? I think I'm gonna go into the shade Aesthetic, and I'm gonna put that on the lower lash line as well. It also looks a little bit more satiny. Something I also really hope is gonna happen is that brown mascara is gonna be popular again, and that some brands with mascaras that people have been raving about will come out with that mascara in a brown version, because there are some mascaras that I definitely would love to try and that people really seem to love, but they aren't available in a brown color, and then I know I'm not gonna wear it because I just don't like black mascara. So I have been hoping for this for a long time, and I'm just still hoping for it. I just really want to see more brown mascaras. Please, please, please. I just really want to try more brown mascaras, although I have very sensitive eyes and probably most of them are gonna burn. I just want to branch out a little bit because I've been using the same mascara for years now. I just want to try something else also for my channel, but I just can't really do it right now. I can't really go for the mascaras that are available now because they're all black. So I would just love to see a little bit more variation in the colors. I'm gonna go into the shade called Play Hard. This is kind of like a greenish bluish iridescent shade. I don't know if it's gonna go with the look completely, but I just want to try it out. It's very shimmery and very green, but it's really cool. It's kind of like limey green. It does add a pop. I don't know if it maybe is a little bit too deep. Very pretty though. It does add a nice pop of color, and I completely forgot what I was talking about. I don't know, is it a little bit too deep or is it okay? I do think it's really cool, this kind of greenish tint together with the neutrals. I think it looks pretty nice. I am gonna deepen up the outer corner a little bit with that deeper brown shade. I just want a little bit more impact over here, but these mattes blended so easily. They are so nice. All right, I remember brown mascara. Yeah, but I think it is clear. I just want brown mascara to be popular again. I just want to wear brown mascara. I just really love that. I think it looks so much better on me. I think this is gonna be it for the Secret palette. I think this look is very pretty, especially those shimmery shades. I think these two shades, like this one and this one, they are a little bit on the satiny side, maybe a little bit too satin for me, but if we also have those shimmery shades to put on top, I can kind of mix and match, and then I don't really mind that. I'm just gonna apply some mascara now. Or am I gonna clean up under my eyes a little bit? Yeah, maybe a little bit. I just use this concealer pen by Catrice, which is no longer available sadly, but I'm just gonna use this up. So now I'm just gonna apply the one and only mascara that I always use. I would just love to try something new. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. I do like to check out things that my subscribers recommend to me, and sometimes I do discover things that I really like that I hadn't really thought about. So I always think it's fun to hear from you what you think. You know what I've really been waiting for? What I've really been waiting on, and I was hoping that this would be released this year in 2021, or re-released actually. Kaleidos, they released blush duos, like glowy matte blush duos. I believe it was in 2020, I'm not 100% sure, could be 2019. But they pulled those because it was said that it wasn't like all skin tone friendly. Not everybody could use it, and so I didn't actually have the chance. I didn't have the chance to try those out, but they looked so good, and I still see people wearing them sometimes, and then I'm like, that looks so good, I want to try it. So I've been waiting for them to re-release those because I just really thought they looked so pretty, and I just didn't realize right away that I wanted those. So I was a bit too late, and now I really want them. And they said that they were gonna reformulate, or they were gonna do something to make them more easy to use for all skin tones. But it's taking some time. But of course, a developing product, it can take a bit of time. It can take a year or more, it depends. So I guess that's probably the reason, but I'm really hoping that in the coming year we're going to be seeing blushes from Kaleidos, and it's going to be kind of similar to what they released before, but they also like to change things up a lot, and they like to change up packaging, they like to discontinue things, change them up again. It isn't really a brand that has like one core range or something like that, so that's also kind of why I'm hoping for them to release blushes again, because they don't have a lot of different products right now. They have eye products. They also discontinued their eye brushes, which I don't really get because I really love them, and now nobody can get them anymore. I use them a lot, but I can't really recommend them because yeah, they're not there anymore. They don't exist anymore. I do use some of their face brushes still that are still available, but they are kind of a brand that does limited editions and then takes it out again and then does something different, because first they had their lip tonics, they took those out, and now they have their lip glaze. They like to switch things up, change things up. So I don't even know if they would come out with their blushes again, if it would be something that I would want, what I would like, but I'm just hoping that they're gonna come out with something similar to those dual blushes, because they looked very pretty, and if they would be released now, I wouldn't even think about it, I would just buy it. But they released it at a time that I wasn't really buying blushes a lot, and I wasn't really into glowy blushes yet, so now looking back, it's like right up my alley, but back then I was just too slow. By the way, I'm using this liquid blush by Jenny and Catrice. I think this is very pretty. I just think applying liquid blush with my finger like this isn't really completely my favorite method of application, but it is very pretty. It's a pretty shade, it's easy to blend, I like the finish. It's pretty. I'm just taking my time to blend this out, kind of stamping it. I don't want to move the concealer that I put down too much. I don't feel like I really have a shade like this, so that's also fun about this. I feel like it's looking a little bit blotchy because of all my breakouts on this cheek. I haven't really had this issue before. It's just these breakouts, man. I've been eating way too much chocolate. I know that people say that you can't really get breakouts from what you eat, but I don't know, man. When I eat chocolate, I get breakouts. Let's see if it blends out better on this side. Yeah, that looks way better. This looks really good. I think my breakouts are just ruining this for me. Okay, we're just gonna look past that, okay? We're just gonna ignore that. This side doesn't exist. It's not part of this look. Maybe we can kind of save that with the highlighter. I do feel like this side looks like it has a bit more color to it. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more to the other side. Just make this even. It's just such a nice warm pink shade. I've used it a couple of times. I actually reached for this one. Just not even for review, because sometimes I review things, I buy things, and then when I reach for them I feel like, okay, I have to use this because I have to review it. But with this one I didn't really feel like that. But I feel like this one works better if you don't really reapply, like apply more. I feel like it looks better if you just apply enough in one go and then just blend it out. Yeah, I don't feel like this is the best application, but I didn't have any problems the last time that I applied it. So I think my skin is just a little bit finicky, just making this harder for me. What do you think? Does it look good? I'm just gonna apply the highlighter. So I'm gonna be applying the Pat McGrath Divine Rose highlighter. By the way, I'm not doing will I buy it videos right now. I'm not doing them anymore right now. I used to do them every 2 weeks. Then for a while I did them every week, or tried to do them every week, but it's just a type of video that takes up a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to film, to edit, to put all the pictures in, to upload. It's a lot of work and I haven't really had time for that, so I have decided to just skip that video for now because it would just take up the time of 2 other videos and I just can't have that right now. So that's why I'm not uploading that one anymore, but I'm probably gonna do that somewhere in the future. Not right now. But I actually bought 2 things by the Pat McGrath and Bridgerton collection. I bought the cheek trio and I also bought the eyeshadow palette, which maybe I should have done after trying this. I think I should have tried this before, but I did it. I thought it looked cute. I thought it looked nice. I thought it would be a good review. And Pat McGrath didn't have shipping. There was a discount code and the customs was already like calculated into the price, so they were lower, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'll try it. But I'm really hoping that I'm gonna love this highlighter and then I'm gonna love the things that are on the way to me. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush. This is kind of like a pinky gold highlighter that looks really pretty. I think this could be a very nice blush topper as well because it's very smooth. There's no shimmer in this that I can see. That's really pretty. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit deep to use as a highlight, like a real top of the cheekbones highlight right now, but this looks very pretty. Not like blinding, but a very nice glow from within. Kind of makes me think a bit of Kiko highlighters in a way. But yeah, I just felt a bit weird trying this highlighter, like this Spciy highlighter, off camera. I just feel like this needed a little bit of a spot in the spotlight. So that looks very pretty. I always feel like in the summer you can really see your highlights so well. The summer is the time for highlights, but then in the winter it's sometimes a little bit hard to see, but it looks very smooth and very pretty. I don't know if I want to build it up some more, leave it like this, maybe just a little bit more. But I don't think that this is gonna be like extremely blinding, but just very like nice and smooth and kind of flattering on the skin. I think that looks very pretty. It's not like that beaming stripe of highlight, but it's very flattering. I really like the color. I think this could be a nice blush topper like all over the cheek as well, because it's so smooth and just very nice and glowy without being too stark or too glittery. I don't really like applying very glittery very shiny things all over the cheeks, but I think this looks good. I just noticed that I put Kaleidos eye brushes on my list. I forgot about that, but they are on my list. But they discontinued those. Why did they do that? I really like them, especially this little one, this little pencil brush. I use that every time I do my makeup. It's so good. And then this flat brush I almost always use every time I do my makeup. That isn't the correct sentence. I use that almost every time I do my makeup. I think these brushes are so good. I don't know why they don't have them anymore. I'm hoping that they're gonna come out with new eye brushes. I also see so many people use the Kaleidos eye brushes in their videos. I always see these greeny blue brushes with so many YouTubers, so I don't really get it. Why did you do that? Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows, but don't judge me, okay? Because I've just been getting into an eyebrow pencil and I'm far from a pro. I'm not telling you I'm a pro. I'm not telling you to do your eyebrows this way. So don't judge me. But I'm still gonna do it. I use this eyebrow stylist pencil by Catrice. I quite like it. I don't think it's the best eyebrow pencil ever, probably, but it's a good one to start out and see if I even like to use an eyebrow pencil. Because I've been playing around with my brows a little bit and just trying to get a hang of a pencil. But I do think it looks good. It's not like the most precise hair strokes that you get with this one, but I do think it's nice to kind of fill in, and that's the main thing I want to do. Because I do have quite nicely shaped brows, I think, and I have quite a lot of hairs, but they are more long than really full, so then I like to just fill it in a little bit. But I do have like, it does look hairy because I do have a lot of eyebrow hairs, but there are just a few kind of gaps, maybe not like gaps, but some places that could look a little bit fuller because they are mainly long and not full, if you get what I mean. I personally think it does a pretty good job, but I'm not an expert here, so if you have any tips, let me know. I'm just gonna take my Maybelline Browdrama 12-hour sculpting brow mascara in dark blonde. Who knows, maybe 2022 will be the year of brows. Me discovering brows and different brow products, trying some brow things. Who knows? This year, 2021, was definitely the year of blush. I've tried so many blushes. I'm really excited to see what will be launched in 2022 and what my makeup style will look like and what I will try out, because this year I also tried a lot of cream blushes, which I never did before, so you never really know what is gonna happen, how things are gonna change. Okay, for the next thing I have two bronzer kind of products on my list. First up, I really want Soul Body or Colourpop to come out with these bronzing balms in cool toned shades. So I have this one and it's very warm. It is one of my favorites. It is like my favorite cream bronzer and one of my favorite bronzers in my collection, but it is very warm. So I'm really hoping that they will come out with cool toned, like body sculpting creams, like the same thing but just more cool toned. I would love that. Another thing that I would love by Colourpop is if they would come out with Super Shock bronzers, and they're not the shimmery, very shimmery ones, but just the more satiny Super Shock blushes, kind of like that formula, but then in the bronzer version. I would love that because I've been getting into Super Shocks, and if they would come out with that, I would definitely buy it. And now I'm just gonna do my lip liner. I cannot talk while I do my lip liner. I don't know if people can, but I can't. Okay, for the lips, I just have too many options. So I'm just gonna go with this Martine Cosmetics Arlette lip balm, like liquid lip balm. I only tried it on my lips for a little bit, then I took it off for the video. So I wanna try this and wear this and see how this wears throughout the day. I think it is a very pretty, like nudie pink shade. Maybe a little bit brighter. It's just a little bit brighter on the lips than I expected it to be, but I just wanted something nice and hydrating because my lips are pretty dry. I think that looks good. I think it looks nice. It doesn't feel too slippery, but it does feel like hydrating and it does feel good. I like it. Maybe it's not a perfect lip with this look, but I just wanted to try some things. I just wanted to try some new things. So we're just gonna go with this. So this is gonna be the finished look. I have one more thing to add to the list. What I really hope brands will come out with in general in the coming year is satin liquid lips. I just love satin liquid lips and I want to see more. I want to see more brands coming out with it, and then I would love to see brands coming out with things that are kind of similar to the ultra satin lips that Colourpop had. They came out with a new satin lip formula, but it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't that good. I didn't love it as much. It didn't have that same look and feel. The old ultra satin lips, they just gave your lips such a smooth and plump appearance, and that isn't happening anymore with their new products. So I'm kind of sad about that. I hope something similar will come along, or kind of like lip balmy products like this, just liquid lipsticks that are quite pigmented but very comfortable. I just love that and I want to see more of that. And then it's gonna be everything for the things I hope that brands will come out with in 2022. Let me know in the comments what you hope or think brands will come out with. Love to hear from you. Maybe you will inspire me as well. I just love chatting about makeup with you in the comments. And that's also gonna be everything for my look. I think it came out very nice. I really like it. I think that highlighter looks so good. I feel like the blush maybe didn't work as well with my breakouts over here, but in the end I think my cheeks look good. I love the eyeshadow. I love how everything blended. I love the shimmers. I just think this is a very nice glam neutral look. The lips, I just have to test it out a little bit. I don't really know how this is gonna wear, but it feels very nice. It looks very good. And there are also some other shades in this formula. So if I really love the formula, maybe I'll pick up another shade if I decide to review something else from Martine Cosmetics. They have been sneak peeking some things, so who knows? But I really love how it feels because it doesn't feel like it's gonna move everywhere. It doesn't feel like it's gonna go everywhere, but it's very nice and shiny, hydrating, and quite pigmented. I think this is also going to be a nice lip for spring and summer because it's a little bit more bright. Okay, now I'm really done. That's really going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.